go moele ho lenaneo la rona la the Youth Panorama tsa sele kajeno bona tsa sele kajeno re etsa ditho ka tsela e fapakaneng re live on our Facebook page ka lebitso la Christian go Chris the KO ke the prince of the airwaves empa tsa sele kajeno re the prince of your television screens ke tsaba ke ha ke tsaba ke le mong ka mehla ke tsama le khaitsedi ya ka Mampho.
Hello, lebitso la ka ke Mampho tsaba ke kgarabe ya maka ho teng kwana ke a leba Chris.
Yeah, that's in a general go one to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the social media platforms. How do you use social media effectively? Do you think influencers they are effective? Social media na ring. Social media as you can see, check us out live on our Facebook page, get the Youth Panorama talk show man ho Facebook re teng hape le Instagram the Youth Panorama talk show Mampho ke bono re rena le ditaba ka mane ka page ya rona a go utlwa rona ba buhi ba reng
ya le ba Chris re batho ba marang so o mo ka jene re tlo tla ba ka ditaba tsa social media Chris we are talking social media today. How does it affect our lives? How does it impact us? But what about the social media influencers ke ding hantle Chris ba ba take the Facebook lots, ba ba take the sensations, di ba bang di celebo. So you want to know today what does it take for me to be a Facebook lot, to be a Facebook influencer? Lorena haeba be ka sa praise because it's the Facebook influencer that they track and kenya di like it's a Facebook Chris. Yo, so mo hi ha re put like a couple nyana ga mathel qhepella hona la Facebook man mo kana le di comment tsa gona hona teng kana le comment ya pele o kopile ho raska ba anonymous okay, mostly I check my emails first, then I read up on Quora, then I check my statuses, then I make sure I remind people we are meeting on that day. Motho na udla a le phone ya ha a etsa mabaka hai ha re mo feta hape re na le modi hei khojana or I write I read other people's work. Most of my time I spent in Google doing some research on certain topics. I also do post poems on my Facebook page. Posted the poem Facebook page in your hand. Yes. The last comment kya Mozabi Selilo Uri marketing my business. Yes.
Ke rata ina qetela ya marketing my business. Tatsina ga jeno ho ba di ba bona re na le a brand marketing strategist. O tlo tla re thusa hore re utlwe rona mekgwa ya sebedisa social media to market your business ke efeng le rona e effective ha kae. Mo ho wa rona dula le rona ho nna the Youth Panorama tatsina ga jeno o se ikutlwetse re ka mane ka Facebook ke the Youth Panorama talk show. Re bona rona ga moela baiti ba rona jwa. Arwelo go wa moele hape mohi ka lenaneo la the Youth Panorama wena motjha ka motjha moholo ya utlwang ntse na tshise haholo tabeng tsena tsa batjha tsa tsile ga jeno re bua ka taba e amang haholo marangrang the internet space mane social media hona le megahlo le mengata ya social media so utlwile ha re qala mane le khaitsile ka Mampho go buile ka tsona Instagram, Twitter, Facebook haholo ke bona hore ha e mona ka sebedisa Facebook haholo tsatsi le ga jeno ha re tlotla ka ba le baiti ka sentse ba di teng ka kwano o tlo ba bona re tlotla le bona ke hlale ke qale pele ka ho ba tsebisa wena ke Diva Motelle. She is a person of so many forward slashes. First a model, a radio presenter, a TV presenter, an actress now o tla motseba o mmona mane ho bophelo the drama series ona o taba tse ding hape tse ngata tsa di etsang on the side but tsatsile ga jeno re tlo bua le ena as an influencer one e hlilo sebetsa di brand hangata ha e kwano ke bone neng baganga Twitter mano la bua ka hore she's starting to get interest from ka mane ka Africa borwa re tlo bua le ena ka taba tse ka rantseno go boetse hape re na le Motebang Senawana he's a social media strategist yena o tlo tla re thusa holo to understand the business side of things how lo re shebile ka manana ka social media le di influencers. The Youth Panorama.
Thank you for having us.
How does it feel to be on the other side, Diva?
it's making me nervous.
I can understand.
But I think I'm enjoying it. You know, I'm always used to asking questions and welcoming people, but now I'm being welcomed. It's like, okay.
To be on the other side. Alright. That is now one. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dad?
I know, I'm good. How about allowed to be in front of the camera? You're always
At all.
doing things behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Nice. So now when you're in front of the camera, it's like, yo.
Alright. The dynamics behind social media influencing. As a young person, how do you think you are interested into this thing? One of the social media, but how to be now we say this a wrong handle how we say this a handle how we how we say this there are so many things that we see taking place on social media. To you, as a social media strategist, what is social media and how do we use it effectively?
So, social media, ne? Well, it first started off as social networking platforms. The whole intent was just for us as people to just network and know each other. And then traffic gets on each platform. From there we had social media. And the diversification or the shift from networking to a platform or a media platform is where now we're using all these things to market our businesses and ourselves, either as professionals or as businesses or as influencers, to say, this is what I do, this is who I am. Through videos, through default or through posters, it then became a media thing. And that shift also meant now, too much because you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
So what that means is you can still be free, but not too free because it might disengage someone else who is your potential employer, who's your potential contractor, be your potential client. So that's that's what the shift has basically done. So because of the whole shift, now we have content. So content is what you watch on TV, movies, music, newspapers, articles, music videos, all of that is content. This is content. So that's how we make money. You make the content, people then engage your content. As they do that, we have a community. You then make money from that community to say, if I have 10,000 people watching me consistently, how do I monetize from that 10,000 people? So that's how it all came about.
Oh, the shift. It's all happening in the millennium years.
It's like 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
All these things are happening 10, 20 years. So also, Nana who has been doing this, which is then you become a celebrity. Now it's like you have to watch what you say. Because how can you flop content and post 10 years back to say, so now it means, especially for us who are in this era, the shift is taking a bit of a while for us to just register and for us to be okay with the, with the whole shift. But we have to get used to it.
Diva, besides your work as those /negative bullets in Bejan, you also are into influencing. You work with brands. You took advantage of one that is now one I just spoke about. Can you encourage as an influencer apart from what you're already doing?
You know, the funny thing is I actually made a tweet. I'm like, it was after viewing some how much other influencers make in all the other areas, and I'm like, damn, you guys make this much of influencing, then I might as well do something with it. And then that's actually just how I started. Just like, let me do it. And I already enjoyed creating content and just posting, so I was like, I can do it. And then some brands approached me, and then we worked with them, and that's where it started.
You are you are a very busy person, I must say. How do you manage to include this part of influencing schedule? And also coupled with that,
you actually will think that you need 10,000 followers, but you actually just need organic followers, and even if it's 1,000. The question is, do they engage with your content? Do they share your content? Can they buy? Can at least 10 people from those 1,000 people buy or forward to other people that this is what's happening? You know, you don't actually need 40,000. Nah, you need to start with whatever you have.
All right. How do we engage influencers into that space, your business on social media? As a brand marketing strategist, social media strategist, o tlotla o ke kgola o nthusa o tlisisa le mohi la pemane ho disa ona the value, you know, and yeah, investing into social media in terms of marketing your business. How do we scale it?
Okay, so I got two questions there. One, how do we engage them?
Yes.
Two, how do we scale it? So, yeah, Bill, influencing has always been there. Like, even before social media. How le kgwebo o batla batho ba tsebe ka ntho e itseng. O no bua le whoever a bua ka yona either on the platforms, radios and TV shows and ads and all these other things. Social media influencing is a new thing. Like I said, it came from us then creating content. And what you do is, well, it's a double-edged sword in the sense that Libon, they have to be able to put themselves out there to say, first of all, what I create the content consistently. Secondly, she has to have what we call a social media kit or portfolio. Portfolio.
Okay.
About having a proper portfolio which has everything, your social media, your followers, the brands that you've engaged with, everything. It has to have all those things, portfolio nyana. Then you put your contact details on your platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever, why the bear to say, for more inquiries, for collaborations, talk to me here. Then when I can more to say, okay, give me information on how money could we engage on an agreement. And let me to say, okay, this is how much I have, this is the plan, what could we do together? Sometimes people think it costs money. So no, I can't pay you for now, so how could we collaborate together? I think brands that do this are brands that hold tangible things to say, for the next 2 months, I'll give you this product for free when I create the content, and then after a certain period of time, you can either work up a deal, distribution deal, or you can just say, how could you feel like when those 2 months, how do you feel like it offer a given percentage of our sales? So these are things that you have to sit down and just properly sit and see how you can collaborate with Libwana on. Scaling. So scaling is, again, it depends on them. In business, you have to graduate from being a hustler to having a business. Hustle, it means you make quick money. With a content of mana brand, the chat again or sharp. When you now build a business, you make sure that you have all the legalities of it figured out. You have to have a business model figured out. You have to have a social media kit with a portfolio figured out to see this is how much I price my things. You have to collaborate with other creators. She needs a photographer consistently and a videographer team to say, and a social media guy. So these guys should work with them consistently. Photo shoots, figure out something. There's an entire business model around building it, which she then has to follow. In Lesotho, it's hard because, hey, yo.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. I'll skip to her because when you talk about influencers, is it something that brands or corporates understand? Yes.
And it might be controversial. Brands understand the importance of influencers, but they don't want to admit the value of influencers.
Okay. This is in the context of
Lesotho.
Okay, all right.
I know she'll bring me followers, customers, engagement, but how I cost this much How no man. That's what the problem is. But Kenana,
Yes, because over the years, I think for the past 5 years, na ke le a person who work in the entertainment space a lot. Ke ithutile hore a lot of influencers se ba engaged by big companies. Without mentioning them, we know them. You know, we've seen them. Ba sebetsa le batho e ka rang bo Mosh, bo Skaftini, yourself included. How do companies react when you say I'm an influencer and this is my worth, and for me to get you people interested in your brand, you'll have to pay me this much?
Thankfully, most brands, big brands, none of them have ever complained about my prices. Like all the time when I put this is what my worth, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, can we actually make it lower a bit? I'm like, no. Like it's a about test story. If you got the price, but if you like, I'm not going to change. I'm like, okay, that now we'll do it. We'll work. We will do something, and then we'll work with it. So, mara ke tla tebeng ente tes na ona hare. Haba na le ntho ya hore how jole ya sa total. There are brands ba tla tla. This is how much I'm going to charge per post. Mind you, in South Africa that we charge a post is like 1,000 or 500, you know, and then you switch, you're like, this is how much, like, no, how, you know, I'm like, no, you know, the problem is that I'm going to help you build your company, and what about me? My brand is not growing. I need money to create content. I need to hire a photographer. I need a strategist to tell me what should I do. You know, how do I put this? How do I make this work? They need to be paid. Now you're like, I should just post, take pictures, and you're not giving me anything. When it's not fair, and then what about do then let's not do it.
Right. I'm gonna come back to you now in terms of education. Social media is a broad space. But to be a strategist, to make a career out of social media, to be an influencer, can one, or does one really need some form of education, whether informal or formal education?
Everything we do is like education that day. Other economies, they really delved into the whole thing. Like in Europe, they teach you about how to make memes, how to profit from those things. In high schools in the Americas, they teach them how to be influencers or how to use social media for their thing. Even everyday universities on the other side, of course, they have now collaborated with other companies to teach about digital marketing, social media marketing, all these other things. So the adoption, I think, is thankfully you can do all these things online. Online is everything. I think creators, that's why because of the University of YouTube. Like YouTube, YouTube is just I don't know. It's a haven for creators. Like I've worked with self-taught graphic designers, videographers, photographers. I felt like getting YouTube and just type how to everything just. And these are people that are putting content there for free. You know, they're putting it there for us to consume and make use of it. So that's the education that you need. But as you grow, and it goes back to Manomonekire, you're building a business or you're building some form of a reputation, a brand. Some brands are going to need some form of formal education. Less is not education, but certificate, training. So that is where we have these online courses. I think to say, there's LinkedIn Learning, there's Coursera, there's Khan Academy, there's Google Digital Skills for Africa. These are all platforms that are saying, take an hour a day, every day, and do this thing, have a certificate, don't pay us. I mean, of course, the more you grow, the more you have to pay for some courses, and also it depends on those guys, whom are they affiliated with. You know, if it's a collaboration between whoever and UCT, I mean, of course, you're going to pay for the certificate. But when you pay for it, it's actually quite affordable. But education is all across us. I, for example, put out content on my Twitter to say, if you want to build a brand, do this. If you want to do this, threads on threads and articles. So that's how also you can learn and educate yourself. But you're going to need some form of certification.
Muhi o ntse o mametse jwalo, o ntse o shebeletse jwalo lenaneo la the Youth Panorama. Tsatsi le kajeno re tshwahla taba tse amanang le yona social media. Re shebile jwalo the influencers, the bad side of social media and the good side of social media. Holo re shebile the good side. Re ke re nke kgefutso hanyane fela, and ha re khutla we will continue with our guest Ratsuri and Tatimutebasinawana le Diva Motelle, an entertainer, a creative, o etsa ntho tse ngata haholo. Ha ba le go amoela hape Muhi ke the Youth Panorama. Tsatsing la kajeno re bua ka taba tse amanang le social media ka kotloloho re shebile haholoholo kgwebo ya social media, menyetla e kgwebo ya social media, influencing ke yona taba e batla ile ga sehlohong o shebile taba tse amanang le kgwebo. Ke buele ke amoela baeti ba ka hape ke ntse ke tswela pele le lona tsatsing la kajeno. Diva, as an influencer, how bad do you have it? Or are you able to go on social media and say, today I'm just having a bad day and I'm having a heavy heart, I just want to cry, you know? And how do people react normally when you say things like that? Can you have a normal life as a social media influencer?
I think you can, but at the same time, it's not really normal because the expectations from your followers and everybody else outside. So yeah, sometimes just be like, I remember the first time when I started, he was like, you need to limit the things you say and the things you don't say, because I was very open. I'm literally say anything that comes into my mind, I'll say it, and I had to tone it a bit, and I still be like, I feel sad, but then at the same time I feel like the moment when I put it there, I know it's how I feel, but it's a negativity, you know. So sometimes just be like, you know what, let me just cry, close out my phone, and then I'll come back, post a positive quote. Just believe me, post. So
Is there still space for Mochaya Shibeleting Hajwali, who is interested into this business, to come and say, Linda, I want to be an influencer? You know, some business.
Like there's a lot of space for anyone who wants to join.
What should you have? What does it take to become an influencer?
It's a good question.
I think first you need to learn the everything in influencing and what do you do. There are threads. I for one then I follow a few people, and then they do threads from time to time. We have like Human, we have Label Lion, we have the kind of you, and then all the others. I just go through the threads and be like, okay, this is what I need to do. And you also need to be ready to spend money before you get money. Yeah, because there's a time where you're going to go months or actually maybe years without getting anything. I was just lucky because when I started doing it, I was already out there and other people knew me. So it was quite easy for me to say, I charge this and I'm not backing off from that. Yeah.
Yes, nice. Let us know, as we wrap it up, what can you say actually to the business community in terms of working with influencers, in terms of using social media effectively, and the young person, you know, how do they use and engage social media for the best of their business?
So for brands or businesses, you need them. I think any good marketer, funny thing, I don't have a marketing background, but there is a huge gap that exists between businesses, organizations, institutions, brands, and customers. For us to bridge that gap, we need to work with the likes of her. It is very important because if anything, we then find relatability to those whatever campaigns that you're doing. We then find some form of commonality between us and the brand. You will buy that thing because ke bone diva on the ad, therefore I feel like in a way I'm buying something that is part of me. So you need these brands because if anything, they help us connect more with our people. So we need to work with ambassadors and influencers and just engage them. And most importantly, when you engage them, value their worth. Don't go there and try to negotiate. I mean, of course, there are times when it's hard. Like how do you then reach a form of compromise that doesn't really compromise them too much, but make sure that you know and value their worth when you engage them. For anyone, I think everybody, not just influencers, it's important for us to create content. Hoban, there exists an entire world of people out there, a community of people that can potentially relate to your content. It's important that we put it out there, regardless if you're a lawyer, regardless if you are an accountant, regardless if you're a what. There is so much value in educating people using your LinkedIn account, Facebook account, Twitter account, and then just saying, guys, this is what I do. If you have anyone who might be interested, retweet, like, share, whatever. There is so much that we can actually share and engage online. And for people that actually want to be influencers and brands, 3 things: have a purpose, have content, and be consistent with it.
Nice.
That is it.
Nice. Muhi, re na le taba tse monate tsa tsela ka jeno. Taba tsa social media di batla di dingata di phakalletse. There are a lot of things to consider ho bua ka social media. Empa tsa tsela ka jeno ne hlile re tseba bisema ikutlo ho di mata taba tsa influencing and the business side of social media marketing and everything else that has to do with social media in terms of kgwebo ya hao le motho a motjha. Ha ke tshepa hore o ikgoletse molemo ke tla fitisa ditaba tsena go gaetse di aka Mampo just to say hello goodbyes go tswa gona Christian go sentse ke re ha re buela go kopana hape na go etla.
Thank you very much, Chris. Babuhi ba gona Haimon ho dula le gona lenaneng la gona la the Youth Panorama Talk Show le ikutlwetse he hore na social media influencing ke eng. Ba bang bana le di follower tse ngata ban ho Facebook ba di sebedisa ho promote dikgwebo tsa bona, ba di sebedisa ho promote di brand tsa bona. So re le batho ba batjha re ikutlwetse hore being a social media influencer doesn't mean you have to put yourself under pressure, doesn't mean you have to go all out to impress people in a very fake way hore o tlotsebo ho duma man ho social media. Ba di sebedisa ho ngola dipoeme, ba bang ba di sebedisa dikgwebong tsa bona, ba bang ba di sebedisa ho promote e ka ba sekolo, e ka ba kereke eng kapa eng. Ga leboha he dula le gona o tlobe le gona nanong le leng hape la the Youth Panorama Talk Show, same time, same place.